Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm not going to be applying any makeup or reviewing any products. I'm going to be doing the About Me tag. This video was actually a suggestion from one of you guys. Somebody suggested that I do a get to know me type of video, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I thought it was such a good idea because as much as I want you guys to get to know me and I want to share more about myself, I really don't know how to fit it into my makeup and beauty content, so I thought this was the perfect way to do that. I did find a video from Kathleen Lights from like 8 years ago, and she did the About Me tag, so I did use most of the questions in that video. I think it's like 25 questions, but I went ahead and changed some and added some as well, so it's closer to 30 questions. Hopefully that will help you to get to know me a little bit better. But before we get into it, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't know if it's possible. I really don't know if that's gonna happen for me this year, but it is one of my goals. So if you do enjoy my videos and you wanna see more, please go ahead and subscribe and like this video as well. And let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so first question is, where did you grow up? I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania called West Grove, and I'm sure most of you have not heard of it. It's a pretty small town, a little boring, to be honest. I personally could not see myself living there forever, so I'm really glad that my parents moved us to Georgia when I was 14 because I want to be near a bigger city. We do live near Atlanta. It's less than an hour away, so I'm a lot happier in Georgia. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I do. I have 2 younger siblings. I'm actually the oldest out of the 3 of us, and my younger sister is named Izzy. She's my best friend. She's only a couple of years younger than me, and Freddie is my brother. He's, I think, 12 years younger than me. What is your zodiac sign? I am a Leo, so shout out to all of you fellow Leos out there. What is your middle name? I don't have a middle name, and actually none of my siblings have a middle name. It was just something that my parents didn't think was necessary, which I always thought was funny. When I was a kid, I remember wanting to have a middle name, and now that I'm an adult, I honestly don't care. So yeah, no middle name. How tall are you? I am about 5'3", and I say about because I'm not 100% sure. I could be 5'2" to be honest, but I just haven't gotten like an exact measurement in a long time, so I think I'm 5'3". What is something that people may not know about you? So the first thing that came to mind is that I was born without a left hand, or at least my left hand didn't fully develop. So I technically have like little fingers that didn't fully develop. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I think my mom had x-rays done when she was a few months pregnant, and the nurse or the technician that did them didn't use like the right protection for her. So something went wrong along the way. At least that's what I've been told. It could have caused, or prevented, I should say, my left hand from developing. But it's just a part of me. It's all I know. I used to feel kind of bad about not being able to do certain things or not being able to do things the way that other people do them. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I'm a lot more accepting of myself, and I'm okay with having certain limitations. But I also try to push my own boundaries and see if I can do certain things, even if I feel like I can't initially. I usually figure it out, or I figure out like a modified way to do things. So yeah, that is something that some of you may or may not know about me. What is your relationship status? I feel like we're getting very personal here, but I've been married for 14 years. We're gonna celebrate our 15-year wedding anniversary in January, so I can't believe how much time has passed. We were both very young when we got married. I was 19 at the time, and my husband was 22 and a half, I think. We're only like 3.5 years apart, so not much, but he's my best friend. I don't regret having married him at such a young age. I mean, looking back, maybe we should have planned for it a little bit more. We didn't have a big wedding or anything, but honestly, that wasn't something that we cared about. We just wanted to get married and stay together forever, so yeah, I love him so much. He's my best friend. I feel like he just knows me the best out of anyone in my life. What would you name your children? So I actually don't want kids. I don't know if I'll ever want kids. And as far as my husband goes, he's okay with either option. He's totally on board if I ever change my mind and want to have kids, but he's also okay with not ever having them. So I really appreciate that about him. I'm glad that he's not pressuring me into anything. It's not a conversation that we've really had. At least I don't remember us talking about what we would name our kids because, again, we don't really want any. But I guess we should in case I ever change my mind. But the first thing that comes to mind is Lucy, at least for a girl. I've always loved the name Lucy, and I just think it's a very cute name. I also like Damien for a boy. I don't know what it is about those names, but I just think they sound pretty. So Lucy and Damien. What is your favorite drink? Honestly, anything iced, but especially iced lattes. I don't do well with hot drinks. I've been trying to drink tea more often, especially to help me sleep at night. But even in the dead of winter, I love anything iced. I love iced drinks year round, but iced lattes are definitely my go-to. I have one almost every single morning. What is your favorite / go-to meal? So the meal that I seem to have the most is some sort of like stir-fry veggie with rice and protein bowl. I just love bowls in general. So anything with rice and stir-fry veggies, tofu, beans, and then I like to top it with avocado, sriracha, and yum yum sauce. I just feel like it's very filling and I don't get bored of it. That's something that I can eat multiple times a week and still enjoy it. What is your favorite artist / band? I will give you my #1 favorite, but I'm going to mention a few other ones. So maybe I'll end up giving you my top 5 just because I have so many favorites. But my #1 favorite band is Between the Buried and Me, and they are a progressive metal band. I feel like a lot of you may not know about them because even though they are pretty successful in the metal world, they're not like a huge mainstream band, but they've been my favorite for years. We've seen them in concert quite a few times, probably the most out of any bands or artists that we've seen in concert, and I can't wait to see them live again. They always put on a good show. And then as far as my other top favorite artists, again, I'm going to mention 4. So Deafheaven, Tesseract, The Contortionist, and Taylor Swift. I'm a Swiftie, in case you didn't know. What is your favorite album? So I actually have 2, and I can't decide because one of these was my #1 favorite and then the other one came along and now they're both my favorites. So Colors 2 by Between the Buried and Me and New Bermuda by Deafheaven. New Bermuda was my favorite album, but then Colors 2 came along and I can't decide anymore. They're both my favorites, so those are my top 2 right now. What is your favorite song at the moment? So I have been loving the Short and Sweet album by Sabrina Carpenter. I actually have it on vinyl. I got it a couple of days ago at Target, and it sounds so good on vinyl. It already sounds amazing as it is, but on vinyl it's just extra special. But I have been listening to Bedchem on repeat. It's on my fall playlist on Apple Music, and I just think it's such a fun and clever song. I know it's a little bit out there, like lyric-wise, but I love the lyrics and just the whole vibe of the song I think is really fun. What is your favorite season? Fall, of course. Have you participated in any sports? No, I haven't, and I have never really been an athletic person. I enjoy exercise, but as far as like sports, I'm just not a sports type of person. But I always wanted to learn to figure skate. I will say that. I wanted to figure skate when I was a kid, but it was just not something that I ever pursued. I honestly didn't know how to go about that, and my parents just didn't have the resources to send me to lessons or anything like that. But I would love to learn to figure skate one day, even just like the basics. I just don't know if my body can handle it, especially being in my 30s now, and I do have some joint issues, so I don't know how that would go, but it will be something fun to try one day. What is your favorite book? So the book that immediately came to mind, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about eating disorders, so go ahead and skip if you don't want to hear about that, but Overcoming Overeating. I don't remember the name of the author, but I will link the book down below and I'll put the author and all of that. I have struggled with binge eating in the past. I don't really deal with it anymore. Every once in a while, I will have the urge to binge eat, and it's just something that I've had to work on. But this book was extremely helpful. I don't know what I would have done without it. I was never diagnosed. I never went to a therapist or anything, but I technically was binge eating, especially during times of stress and anxiety. But this book really helped me to put things into perspective and change my habits. So I'm not saying that this book is going to be a cure if you are dealing with something like that, but it was just a very helpful thing for me to read at the time. And I did learn a lot from it. What is your favorite color? That one is easy. Purple. What is your favorite animal? Definitely cats. I grew up with cats. I've always had them. They're just the cutest. I love them so much. Favorite perfume? La Vie est Belle by Lancome. That one just has the most like happy memories tied to it. And it was also my first perfume purchase. I bought it off of QVC and I remember making the payments. They had like some sort of easy pay plan or something like that. So I remember just loving that perfume. It has a lot of good memories tied to it. Favorite makeup or beauty brand? I would say Odin's Eye, specifically because of their eyeshadows. I love their eyeshadow formula. I love the packaging that they come out with. The artwork is always super pretty. And I feel like that would be my dream makeup brand to collab with. That would be insane. I really don't think that'll ever happen, but Odin's Eye makes amazing eyeshadow. I really want to try some of their other palettes. I really only have like 3 of them. What is your favorite holiday? I was going to say Thanksgiving because I love the food, but I think because I usually make most of the food on Thanksgiving and it's just really stressful and tiring for me, it kind of takes away from it. So if I weren't the one making most of the food, then it would probably be my favorite holiday. But because it can be so stressful, I would say Christmas is my favorite. Have you been out of the country? Yes, I have. I've been to Mexico and Canada. Canada, I've only been once. I went there with my family when I was a teenager, and we only spent, I think, like 2 days there. So it was a really brief trip, but it was a lot of fun. And then Mexico, I've been there at least 4, maybe 5 times. I don't remember exactly how many times I've been there, but I did go there as a kid a few times. And then the last time I was there, I think I spent my 18th birthday there, and that was a lot of fun, but I haven't been there since. What places would you like to visit? So my husband and I have dreamed of going to Japan. I feel like we'll go there eventually, but it's just not in the cards right now. But Japan, definitely. I also want to visit Hawaii and the state of Washington. Washington looks insanely beautiful. I want to go there, especially in the fall. We also really want to go to New York City and spend at least a couple of weeks there. Even Christmas would be really cool. Do you speak any different languages? I do speak Spanish. I am fluent in it, but I do struggle with a few words here and there. I don't know how to express myself the best in Spanish. I do struggle with it sometimes, just finding certain words, but I find that the more that I use it, the easier that it becomes for me. So I do speak it on a regular basis, but I do struggle with like a few things here and there. I do use Spanish in my job, so that has helped a lot, but I still need to perfect it, I would say. I would love to do a makeup video in Spanish one day. My family has been asking for me to do that for a while now, but I keep putting it off because I honestly don't know a lot of like makeup terms in Spanish, so maybe I'll give it a try one of these days. What is your favorite store? Definitely Target, as basic as that sounds, but I also love Pop Shelf. Pop Shelf is a lot like Five Below. I don't know if you guys have one where you live, but I do really like Pop Shelf. What is your favorite restaurant? I would say Star of India, even though it is a very pricey restaurant, at least for us. So we don't go there often, but they make probably the best Indian food that I've ever tried. And it's just a really nice environment and the service is really good. But again, a little pricey, a little bit out of our budget. So we don't go there often. We go maybe like once a year. Did you like school? So I have never been a fan of school. I think especially because of my social anxiety, I've always had a really hard time just being in that environment. But the older that I got, it did get a little bit easier, especially in college, but I still struggled. And I just have a really hard time focusing. I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD, but I would like to at least get tested one day because I do have a lot of the symptoms. In grade school, I was a really shy and quiet kid, so I did have a hard time making friends. I was bullied several times, so I don't have the fondest memories of school, but college was definitely a lot better. What are some of your favorite YouTubers? I watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of different YouTube channels, mostly makeup and beauty related, but I do have a few non-makeup channels that I like to watch. So I'm gonna name 14 channels in total. I hope you guys don't mind. Jessica Braun, Taylor Wynn, Emily Noel, Nikki LaRose, Allie Glines, Juicy Jazz, Sarah Rose, Tati, Julia Adams, Kathleen Lights, Evangeline Molly. Those are all makeup and beauty related and in no particular order. And then as far as non-makeup channels, Tiger Belly, Clutterbug, and Nexpo. I know that was a lot, but I watch a lot of YouTube, so I figured I would just mention all of my favorite channels, or at least the ones that I can think of right now. What is your favorite movie? Are you surprised that I can't name just one? I'm gonna name two. Selena, which I've seen countless times. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. I really want to watch it again because I haven't watched it in a few years, but that is just such a good movie. I love Selena. I loved her music, but I also love Dune Part 2. I think my husband and I watched that movie 3 times at the movie theater when it came out, and then we watched it at least twice at home. That movie is just so good. The pacing, I think, is perfect, and the score is amazing. And then finally, the last question is, what are some of your favorite TV shows? Number one favorite show of all time is Breaking Bad. I have seen that show, I don't even know how many times I've rewatched it, but it's been a lot. I actually want to rewatch it again. But the writing is amazing, the characters are really interesting, and I love the pacing. The story is on point. I also love Sex and the City, which I'm rewatching right now, and The Office. I've also rewatched that one a bunch of times. But that is it for the About Me tag. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and got to know me a little bit better. I feel like I shared quite a lot of things about myself. But I would love to tag all of you guys. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, I would love for you to answer the questions down below in the comments. And if you do have a YouTube channel, I would love for you to do this video. So I tag all of you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.